This video was recorded a very long time ago, but I'm uploading it now because I've been delayed. As I told you, I've been practicing for WGPs, a bunch of other personal stuff. But you know who else has been suffering from terrible writing? Megumi. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm DZBT04 here. Today I am back to cover Sylvan Horned Beast King, Magnolia Elder in DivineZ. Yes, that's right, DivineZ. Now, this is a deck actually that was mainly supported in DZBT01 and actually received a lot of support. And I was really excited. I tested it. In fact, I spent too much time testing this that I actually forgot to record it. So now I finally have the chance to sit down and film it because I have a small pocket of time this weekend, so I've decided to actually do so. Magnolia Elder is a very notorious boss monster because it basically ruined the end of Year 1D. And then afterwards, Bushiroad proceeded to ruin Magnolia itself. Now we are about a whopping 15, 16 main sets in. How has Magnolia evolved since he came out in a starter deck product? Well, we're gonna go through that today, and I wanted to do this before I do Zorga Nadir, since Zorga is Stoicheia's second deck and first main deck from a booster set that they revealed. Because if you remember, it was the very first deck they revealed, followed by Hexor and then Baromagnes. So today, let's get into it. It's a different, very different deck list, and I will explain to you some of the options you can play along the way. But I think this deck is still pretty fun. I'm not sure if it's worth the amount of money, but if you can buy the reprints and whatnot, the foils are all really cheap actually. And yeah, I'll get into that when we are there. So let's start off. Oops, I'm so clumsy nowadays. So our right deck, we obviously play the right deck Crest, which is for energy, as you probably already guessed. If you need an explanation on what energy is, you can check the link in the description for my DivineZ Explained video. It's strange that the pattern for Divine support always will give you a card that uses Energy Blast. Magnolia, despite getting a whopping, I think, 4 or 5 cards from DivineZ, does not actually have a card that needs energy. So yeah, that's pretty interesting about that when you think about it. I don't know why, but that's just the choice they made. So you can just use the Energy Blast 7 to draw 1. I think that's fine. Our starter, we still always... Sorry. I'm sitting at a new location to film today. So yeah. Our starter is still Lotte. That doesn't change. But you can play whatever you want. We have our new Charis. That's right, because Charis and Lattice actually got evolved forms. Unlike, Vestian, where they left Fort and Night alone. So... alright, very cool. I mean, they gave Jiva new ones. They gave... Bruce didn't get... Yeah, so we're just left with Prison. But Prison should not be allowed to get support. They should not. They don't deserve it, okay? So I'm going to go through the Great One first. The Great One is Charis. You can see he's gotten fatter for the last 4 years. When this unit is rolled over by a card with Sylvan Horned Beast in its name, so any Sylvan Horned Beast is fine, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 Grade 2 or less normal unit from among them, and call it to the rearguard circle. You can discard the rest. If you don't discard, you can put them all to the bottom of the deck. So it's either a selective mill, or you can just put it back, which is wonderful. So it's a +1 and it sets up your drop as well. It's really good. Magnolia has always had the issue where its right line has been complete garbage. You can check the link in the description for my previous Magnolia deck profile. You get what I mean. And while I've tried to work around it desperately, I'm glad they just power crept it. I'm glad. People complain, why are my cards in the booster set that are common for my right deck? Yeah, but you are only paying like 30 yen for these two. Like, come on, just fork the 30 yen. It's worth it. You know why? We'll go to Lattice now. Lattice, now called Mercy Sylvan Horned Beast Lattice, when rolled upon by a Grade 3 Magnolia, in its card name, so, they give a new Magnolia, it works. Soul Blast 1, choose a Grade 3 or greater card from your drop zone, or a normal order from your drop, and put it into your hand. So now, you can either add back any Grade 3 or any order from your drop back to your hand. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And you can Soul Blast 1, so you can Soul Blast itself, or you can Soul Blast Charis, although Charis is kind of useless, so you can Soul Blast him. And during your turn, if you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard Magnolia in its card name, it gains 5. So it's a 15k beater. Dragon Empire has bled over into Stoicheia. And Magnolia, as you probably guessed, is still Magnolia, which is, when it's at the end of the battle, this unit attacks, Count Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards, it gains 5,000 power, you can attack from the back row, if you persona right this turn, choose 3 instead of 1. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Same with my original print. See? Alright, so that covers it. Moving on to our grade 4s. Yep, that's right. We're gonna start with the big boys. This is a grade 4 style deck, so you know what that means. We have 4 grade 4s, and that is Magnolia Elder. Magnolia Elder, you probably already know by now, but if not, I am more than willing to check it out for you. And that's why I'm actually sitting next to a desktop today, so I actually can check the skills translations because there's a lot of text in these cards. When you see placed on Rearguard Circle, choose a card from your soul and call it a Rearguard Circle. Okay, cool, pass one. And this is the passive one. If you have one or more cards in your soul or Rearguard Circles with Magnolia in its card names, the grade 4 counts as well. All of your Rearguards can attack and intercept from the back row and gain 5,000 power. So basically, as long as you are Magnolia Elder, you have an infinite endgame because it's 6 attacks. The reason why I probably forgot to film Magnolia Elder's deck profile in set 1 is because we were still living in Shiranui Hell. And if you know what Shiranui does, this deck is absolutely worthless. The thing is now that Shiranui is not so big of a deal per se, but still is very good. The point is that you can still play this deck pretty alright. This deck has a lot of good matchups, especially this list. In the current meta, it fights Zorga, Blankdemeyer, and I would say Raziel to a pretty good amount. But this deck still completely folds to Vanguard Regress as well as Shiranui. So you would still have to know your matchups here and there. This style of effects, where you get an infinite 6 attack style endgame, is very, very essential because basically it allows you to compete off a lot of the defensive stall decks that are very cheap and very prevalent in DivineZ. Sienna is one, Dolls is another, Lascaria as well. These are decks that stall and compete for the timer when you play competitively and stuff like WGP. And with, with Magnolia Elder, you will never lose to them because you will always be able to outgrind, outrank, and outbeat them no matter the situation, which is very important, I would say. So that's really about it. Again, most of the power of this deck is tied to this card because it's built around this card. And the grade 4 is also important because the way they sequence the new support is that if you go up to grade 4, you get additional benefit because it's an odd number. Why do odd grades and even grades matter now? You will see in a bit. Our grade 3s, we play one copy of Magnolia. From the right deck, it's the same fatty catty. I mean, I'm not going to explain this guy. I literally just went through it. The rest of the grade 3s though, we obviously play the Galley's Piece, which is the Forbidal Stargate, and then we play 2 copies of this guy, Winzapu. Basically Winnie the Pooh. I've already covered Winzapu in great detail, I think very long time ago on my channel, and why I believe this card was secretly broken for Magnolia, and I'm still playing it because we need a grade 3 target for Forbidal Stargate. Now, I know a lot of people say, why don't you play Inlet Pulse? Because Inlet Pulse doesn't do anything. It just moves to soul and draw. Like, if I wanted Zuitan, I would buy Zuitan. I don't need it. And right now, you don't have the time to stall out the game or out-resource people. You need to kill. And Winzapu does just that. In your hand or in your deck, as long as your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater Sylvan Horned Beast, it gets grade -1. I'm not sure if you can search out with this thing, with this guy. I should probably check that out one more time when I can. I think you can, although I could be wrong. But I think, is that a passive skill? I should probably check that right. I probably can check that right now actually. Oh great. Deck or hand, yeah. Okay, so you can't search it. But it's still a 23k beta, and you can still add a card from the drop zone. So, he still counts. He's still fair game. And as well, you can also search the original Magnolia if it happens to be in the drop zone. So you still add a grade 3, or you can just call it from your drop zone or from your deck. But mainly, Forbidal is meant to help you search Magnolia Elder, and that's the most important thing about this deck. Very frankly speaking, if Forbidal didn't have a text link to grade 3s, I would straight up just play more grade 2s, because this deck has a lot more powerful grade 2s right now, but I still think it's worthwhile, so you could just look into that. If any the case, you can always just put Winzapu in your drop, use the Forbidal, and just call it out, and it's perfectly fine. It's as if it never happened. Alright, moving on to our grade 2s. Our grade 2s have a lot. With this guy, Gabrek. Gabrek is a very strong finisher for this deck, so do not sleep on him. He is very strong and very powerful. He basically has a guard restrict and stuff for Soul Blast when another unit in the same column is attacked. So it doesn't have to be a back row attacker. We play 4 copies of this guy. This is Eichwin. Iquin, when placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Magnolia in this card name, Soul Blast 1, and discard a card of your hand, search your deck or drop for Magnolia with a different name than your Vanguard. So you could search for the mask, you could, and or a grade 0 normal order, put it to your hand. If you search the deck, shuffle the deck. So you can search Blossoming Buds, but there is an intended in-archetype target for this. We played still 3 copies of this guy. Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. But this is our really good counter charger. Is it Elgil? Is this Elgil? No, that's not Elgil. Elgil is on flag book. Dynamaru? No, it's not Dynamaru. Who is he? I forgot his name. I'll figure it out. I promise you, I'll figure it out. I know who this is. I played this guy before. Is this Duja? Enbar. No, Enbar is the antelope. Ugh. Come on. This is the triple rare from set 7. What is his name? I will find it. Genosa? No, Genosa's from set 1. Or did he change the name in English? Is that why this English site is not working? Hold on. Let me just search the register number. I hate this. I hate that I have to spend time searching for this just to read the exact text to be sure. Here, Alpin. His name is Alpin. What the hell did they translate? It's R. Okay, I thought it was an R. Okay, because the Japanese is an R. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard Magnolia's card name, this unit gains 5 until the end of the turn for every 2 of your grade 2 or greater units. So if you have, as long as you have 2, it gains 5. If you have 4, it gains 10, and then if you have 6, it gains 15. Pretty good. If you got more than 10k power by this effect, 10k or more, at the end of the battle, you can bind it to counter charge and soul charge 1. That's pretty effective. It really helps you pay off a lot of costs in your long run, and just a nice beater. But you don't have to use the counter charge skill. It's just nice. It's basically like a Applies Trident. And the other guy from DZBT01 is really good as well. This is Banaspati, who apparently does have an English version. So I can just copy that because they changed the phonetics again. I hate this. Okay, never mind. Anyways, when placed on the regular circle, other than during the battle phase, so basically main phase, card blast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards with Sylvan Horned Beast in its card name for every 2 grades of that unit. So if it's a grade 3, you only can use it once. If it's a grade 4, you can basically do it twice. Choose a grade 3 or less card with a different card name from this card, and you can call it to the rearguard circle. So you can call this from the drop zone. It's not locked to the hand, so you can just use Magnolia Elder and call Banaspati, call another 2 guys, and you basically build a board of 3 units for Counter Blast and Soul Blast, which is pretty good if you ask me. When this unit attacks, choose one of your Vanguards with Sylvan Horned Beast's card name. For every 2 grades, it gains 5. So if it's a grade 3, it's a 15k attacker, pretty good. And if it's a grade 4, it's a 20k attacker, even better. So Banaspati is definitely a 4th. Hell, I would say that Banaspati is pretty good in any Magnolia deck, as well as this guy. I think both of them are pretty good. So yeah. The other grade 2s that we do play in this deck, obviously we do need to play Lattice for our right deck. We also play 4 copies of Friendship Fairy. Friendship Fairy is the first promotional card ever shown in the DivineZ anime, which is pretty funny. I laughed a lot. Basically, it's a tournament promo. It is getting reprinted in Festival Booster 2024, I believe. But you can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I can't remember. If you have a Vanguard Magnolia's card name, and if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, come last 1 and move this into the soul. Choose a grade 4 Magnolia in its card name from your hand and write it as stand. This is why we have so many searches for Magnolia. We have Iquin, and then we also have, Forbidol. This is why Forbidol is so important. You need to make sure Elder gets to your hand so that you can actually use its effect to superior right. So, it all works out. It's pretty nice. Although this is a going second card, you only need to use this once per duel, which means effectively later on this is very useless. But you play this at a 4 because you definitely want to see it when you see it. And then we play 3 copies of that guy. That is a very strong card. His name is... Oh no. Don't tell me I forgot his name. No, I know this guy. I'm very sure I know this guy. This is Golidot. Yeah, this is Golidot. Golidot, when your Vanguard with Magnolia is placed during the right phase. So it doesn't count if you superior right, okay? Placed during the right phase. Put this card into your soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gains 5. Pretty good, by the way. It's free soul charge. When this unit attacks, it gains 10,000 power to end the battle. If at the end of the battle, if it's in the center column, retire this unit to draw. So it's a loopable draw as long as this takes the center back spot. If not, it's just a 20k attacker from the back row. That's pretty good. Now, a long time ago, I would tell you Golodot is the most broken and pushed triple rare from set 9 ever seen on the planet. But the times have changed. There are a lot of 20k attackers right now in Magnolia. We have Alpin, we have Banaspati, we still have Gabrek. And those are just ones that you can play in general. So Golodot's importance kind of shrinks a bit. And the fact that you only can use one most effectively in the center back, you generally just need one copy in circulation. So 3 is fine. If you are very phobic, you can play 4. I think there's no issue. But just know that you can cut it down to 3 this set. Especially because of Banaspati. And you cannot take anything away. You need to buy this card. It's a must play. It saves this deck. Banaspati does so much for this deck. It's a custom card. This is what Blaster Blade to Vanguard should have been. Our grade ones, we play 4 Perfect Guards, and then we play 1 Charis. Very, very self-explanatory. The joke writes itself at this point. I will not say anything more. We obviously cannot play Sanctitude because this is an Elder-based deck. Now for our grade 0 normal orders, we play 3 copies of Wild Intelligence in the main deck as well. Now, Wild Intelligence is very important because it is tied to Magnolia. My name sorta. Color Blast want to play this, mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can superior call 1 card from among them with the same grade less than Vanguard to a open rearguard circle. Or to any rearguard circle. And if your Vanguard is specifically the grade 3 start deck Magnolia, you call 2 instead of 1. So basically, if it's either net 0 or a +1, which is very, very good. You know, like who does not want a +1? And this really helps you build the board. This plus Banaspati is absolute bonkers. I used to play 4 of this, but now that you have a searcher in the form of Iquin, you know, this guy, you don't really need to play 4, and it allows you to play more grade 2, so you can preserve your hand in shield. So, thank you very much, Kidani. You know, it's like you custom built these 2 cards to serve Magnolia, and I really enjoy it. And our grade 0s, we play a copy of Lotte, and then we have 4 heals. We still play 7 crits because, you know, we need our 4 draws to find all our pieces on time, although that could change soon. And then an overtrigger in the form of Blessed Favor. I think really that describes itself because, you know, this is a piece reliant deck. You do need to find your pieces to win. It is what it is. Although this deck could potentially deck out in the future, so you may want to be aware of that. Blessed Favor is just a daily overtrigger because it counts as every trigger, and the rest is pretty standard. Yep, and that wraps up my Magnolia Elder deck profile for DivineZ. Overall, like I said, I was really unhappy with this deck when it first came out because even though the cards were so good, its matchups were terrible. However, given a good old ban list and a nice shake-up with a new set, and I think Magnolia Elder is one of the most competent rogue decks in the room, and definitely for its price point. Without needing to buy inlet bounce, this list doesn't use inlet bounce. Most of this deck is very affordable at about, you know, how much? I would say it's quite affordable. At least most of the main Sylvan Horned Beast triple rares are all very cheap. You know, Friendship Fairy is getting reprinted at Festival. Magnolia Elder is not that expensive. I believe it got reprinted in Triple Drive Booster as well. I think the only price point this deck could potentially suffer from would more rather than not just be, you know, the fact that you have to buy so many triple and double rares from past sets. But it should not equate to more than $100, I think. I could be getting the currency wrong. But definitely, if you enjoy multi-attacking decks, it's fine. This deck builds boards very easily, it's very effective, and the numbers scale for a virtually perfect endgame. The only downside is this deck completely falls to control. If you are playing a control matchup, or if you're playing a matchup like, example, Blandemeyer, and he knows what you're doing, you could lose. Not you will, you could lose. So I would say that this deck definitely rewards you if you learn your matchups correctly, which is something I cannot say for Megumi because of how brick-headed she is. Like, she's actually, like, stupid or something. I don't know why, but she's so cute, though. She's just stupid. She's damn stupid. But anyways, that would wrap up my DZBT01 deck profiles for good this time. And hopefully in the next video, I'll finally be able to do Zorga Nadir at long last. Although I have no clue I could get hit by a truck after filming this, and you'll never see the Nadir video I don't know. But whatever it is, thank you all so much for watching. Again, channel memberships are $3 and $7 because it takes me a while to afford and buy all my decks, you know, so I need your support. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.